How you doing? I'm Kevin O'Hara for alcoholmastery.com. Today I wanted to talk about alcohol relapse prevention, for want of a better word, and how, one defeat doesn't turn into you being defeated. Some of the things we're going to look at in this video are just to look at you yourself and the whole process that you're taking to quit drinking alcohol, the mindset that you're in, and how you can change that or alter that in face of a defeat, or in order to prevent future defeats. We're also going to look at the process of success and how that process, the whole process, is a flow. It's a dynamic process. It's going to change, and it does include some parts of failure. It does, every success that has ever happened has included some failure. And then we're going to finally take a look at the word itself, the word defeat, and what that means. Look at some of the baggage that is attached to it. And one of the first things that I'd ask you to look at when you do have a defeat, I don't like the word relapse, but it's a word that people use, so we're going to have to use it here. So if you do have a little failure on the road, the first thing you have to look at it is ask yourself a simple question: do I want to quit? Right? Now there's a different meaning of when you ask yourself, do I want to quit? Or yes, I would like to quit. Or yes, I'm very interested in quitting. Right? You have to get to the stage where you want to quit more than anything else. Right? That you have to quit. That no matter what happens in your life, if you want to move forwards and do anything else in your life, you've got to take this step now, and you've got to want it. You've got to want to get alcohol out of your life. And the next step then is to make some changes, but before you make changes in the outside world, you've really got to start changing what's happening inside your head. Up here is the place where it matters the most, because if you don't change the mindset up here, if you don't change how you think about alcohol, how you think about yourself as a drinker, how you think about alcohol in your group of friends, in your family, how you think about alcohol in the wider society, in the community that you live in, or in your culture, right? If you don't change the way you think about that normalcy and the place that alcohol has in your life, then everything that you do outside is going to be tainted by what goes on up here, right? So you first of all have to change that mindset. Only once you do that, only once you change the mindset, can you start to look outside of yourself. What can you do differently? What are you doing? What is it that you're doing that's leading you to fail? What's happening in your life? What's happening in the environments that you're in? Who are the people that are around you when you're drinking, when you get the trigger to drink, or when you're actually drinking? Who are the people that are causing you to want to drink? What are the thoughts that are causing you to drink? That's the next part. Then you have to look at success. What do you define as success? What is success for you? Is it getting to a month? Is it getting to 6 months? Is it getting to a year or to 10 years without having to drink? Is it getting to a year and saying to yourself, I'm at that stage now where I can comfortably say to myself, I will never, ever touch a drop of alcohol again, right? That's a goal that I think is worthwhile. That's a goal which you know then that no matter how much time you put in, whether a year goes by or 10 years goes by, no matter who offers you a drink, or no matter what situation you get put in or that you place yourself in, that you are never going to take another drink again. That's security. But remember that success in itself, the road to success, it's a dynamic process, it's a journey. Success is not just an end result, right? It's not the target at the end of it. You can define success as that, but in reality, success is going day by day by day by day, and not doing what you're not supposed to be doing, but also adding value to your life, adding skills to your life, and moving one step forward, moving one step towards that goal that you want to get. Now, every success is peppered with failures, like a shotgun blast going off, right? Have you ever seen a sign and like a road sign, and somebody's taken a shotgun to it and there's just all these little holes in it. That's what success looks like. It's, you know, it's full of these individual holes which count as individual failings, right? But the true success of anyone is not measured by getting to the end goal. It's getting to the end goal despite all the shit that's happened on the way there, all the obstacles that have been put up in your way, and the obstacles that you've managed to overcome, all the failures that have happened, and you've managed to, you know, get around them and step around them and do something different, you know. That's what success is defined as. So remember that success is it's a dynamic process, and I'm not talking about failure with quitting drinking alcohol and, you know, going back and having a drink, although that can be a part of it. For some people it's not a part of it, you know. I think for a lot of people, once they get into this, they realize that, you know, they're never going to drink again, and that's just not going to happen. But they have failures in the things that they're trying to do to move themselves away from alcohol to get to that goal. That's where they have the failings in their life, you know, because, you know, they don't understand a lot of what they're doing is coming from lack of experience, lack of skills, and it's learning those new skills and trying to put them together bit by bit by bit as you go along. That's where you're going to find a lot of the failings. And finally, I want to talk about the word defeat. Now, I'm big on words, right, because words are the means by which we communicate with each other, right? They're the way that we communicate with ourselves. They're the way that we try to make sense of the world. You know, we picture things in our minds. That's the way we see things, you know. We see things as moving pictures going around in our heads. But in order to logicalize these things, if that's a word, we have to put words to them. And words like defeat, failure, same as alcoholic, sober, recovery, relapse. These are all words which have a lot of baggage. And what I mean by baggage is that they come pre-packaged with a lot of other people's meanings, right? So defeat is a word which to some people means to be defeated, right? It's a verb which means to be defeated. I am defeated. Defeat is I have been defeated. It is a defeat, right? Now, as I said, success is a dynamic process. Defeat is also a dynamic process, right? It just doesn't happen that you're defeated and that's it, right? There's always something that you can do about it. There's always something that comes before it. There's something that comes after it, right? You know, defeat to some people means to defeat, right? To defeat. Now, you know, you've often heard the saying that, you know, a person might have lost the battle, but they haven't lost the war. Or this person has won the battle, but they haven't won the war. Right? This is the same way. It's a mindset. It's just a way of looking at things, you know, and it doesn't mean to say that the situation is any different. You know, one person might have had a slip up and taken a drink, but they look at this as just a blip in the path, a blip on the road, and they get back up and they go again. They're not defeated, right? They have had a defeat, but they're not defeated. So, you know, remember that defeat is only a word, and it's not a word that you have to choose. You know, you can say, I've just been sidetracked. You know, you can say, I've just had a little blip. You can say, well, you know, whatever you want. It doesn't matter what word you use, because at the end of the day, these things are not used to, the words that you're using now are not being used to communicate with other people. They're being used to communicate with yourself, right? These are being used to figure things out and to logicalize things and to rationalize things in your own brain. So don't ever think that you have to use a particular word, right? Because, you know, some words will bring you down much steeper and slipperier slopes than other words. I don't know if I'm making sense there, but, you know, defeat, right, is a much bigger word than slip, right? Slip is a bigger word than a little whoopsie. You know, I made a little whoopsie there and I'm getting back on the path now. And I'm not saying you have to trivialize the fact that you've taken a drink. I'm not saying that at all, but, you know, words are powerful tools that you can use for your advantage or for your disadvantage. They can really help you or they can harm you. So remember that defeat is only a word. So just to sum this up, the first thing you have to do when you have any form of a slip, when you've got a roadblock in your way, or when you've had a failure or a defeat, whatever you want to call it, right? The first thing that you have to do is look at yourself, look at what you're doing, and look at your mindset, and trying to change your mindset as much as possible into a positive, forward-thinking, forward-focused mindset that's taking you forwards, right, onwards and upwards. The next thing to think about is that all success is a dynamic process that involves failures. So success is always going to be peppered with failures. So don't look at any failure or any single defeat as being the end of it all. It's just a part of the journey of success, right? And finally, look at defeat as it is only a word. It's only a word, right? But certain words have much more power than other words. So choose your words very carefully and look at the words, and you can take a word and you can change the meaning to suit yourself, right? To defeat something, I'm looking at this from the perspective of I'm going to defeat this. I may be defeated, have a defeat at the moment, but I'm not defeated and I'm going to defeat it ultimately. Or you can choose an entirely different word to use. I was just sidetracked. I had a little slip and I was sidetracked, and now I'm going to get back on the path and I'm going to move myself forward. So I hope that makes sense. I hope you got something out of that. If you have any questions, leave them down below. If you want to help out Alcohol Mastery and become a patron of the YouTube channel and the website, you can go over to patreon.com. It's Patreon, and put in Alcohol Mastery at the search box, and you'll come to our page, and you can become a patron for as little as a couple of dollars, for as much as you want. The more the merrier. If you want to get our free Alcohol Startery Mastery Pack, Alcohol Mastery Starter Pack, you can come on over to Alcohol Mastery, and it's there on the homepage, alcoholmastery.com. Just put your name and email address, and there's a couple of different video courses, 3 different books, and a couple of other different bits and bobs that you can get that will help you to change your mindset and start out on your alcohol-free journey. So until next time, I'm Kevin O'Hara for alcoholmastery.com. Take very good care of yourself. Keep the alcohol out of your mouth. Onwards and upwards. Stay safe. Good luck. Bye now.